Right, so this is my improv story, Forest. So, once upon a time, there was a little boy called Terry, and he had many hobbies, but one of his favourite hobbies was to go on long walks in the forest with his mum. And sometimes as friends. Sometimes as friends. And on this one particular walk, it was a rainy Sunday night, and it was Halloween. Ooh. And they decided, hey, let's go down to the forest next to the graveyard and pick some conkers in the rain. That sounds nice. So they went out on a walk. They had their wellies, they had their raincoats. They were all excited. They had their little bags for the conkers, and they were walking through the forest. They went like they were in like a bunch, not like in a line or anything. Because it's a path. You've got to be considerate of the people that are walking past you. You don't want to be like in a long, wide arrangement so people can't walk past you. So they were kind of in a line, an informal line, if you will. And as they were walking through the forest, they noticed the moon in the shining, glimmering clouds in the sky. It was a beautiful, crisp white moon, as it should be. As they were walking through the forest, and it got darker and darker, and the clouds seemed to drift apart to reveal the moon more so, they heard a scream. And they looked back and realised that one of Terry's friends at the back, Michael, had gone missing. And that was very scary because it was his birthday that day, and they were only there mainly because it's his birthday, and they were having a big celebration and collecting conkers for the conker pie. Everyone eats conker pie, come on. So they were very concerned because they heard him scream and he's not there anymore. So Terry's mom and Terry's friends are looking around. Michael, where are you, Michael? Michael, you're hiding over here? They look behind the rocks, the bushes and the trees. They can't find Michael anywhere. They look up at the moon once again to see if it can give them some more light. And weirdly, the moon is no longer a crisp white. It's a slight tint of pink. And, maybe like the sun's still going down and the hue of the sun setting is reflecting off the moon. Maybe it's just that. Terry and his mum look at each other. Maybe he ran off. They were still quite close to home. Like it was only like a short walk away from home. Maybe Terry got scared, screamed, ran away. That's fine. Terry called his mum. Terry called Michael's mum. I'm going to start again. Terry's mum called Michael's mum and said, hey, Michael's on his way home. Hope he has a good birthday today and that he has a really good birthday bash. She hangs up and then they continue the walk, again in a line. They're walking through the forest and hearing the sounds of bats squeaking. It's getting very atmospheric. And they get closer to the graveyard where the conkers are. They see the gravestones. Terry and his friends start to get a bit scared. Terry's mum says, oh, don't worry, boys. It's just dead people. And they're all huddled behind one another. And Terry's friend, Logan, who is right at the back, he screams and they look around to see him and he's gone too. They're so confused. Everyone keeps disappearing. Soon enough, the kids start to panic and dissipate behind the trees because they're terrified and they're hiding because they don't know what to expect next. Then you hear a scream. Over there. A scream over here. A scream in the background. And all one by one, Terry's friends keep vanishing. And one by one, the moon keeps getting more crimson and more crimson. and it's very strange. Terry and his mum continue into the graveyard because they don't know what else to do. They're scared if they turn back something bad is going to happen. They go into the graveyard and they see the tombstones. And it's very dark at this point. It's no longer dawn or dusk, whichever is the one that goes down. The sun goes down. And Terry, it's so dark he can't see. He trips over a tombstone. And he looks at the tombstone. And the tombstone is his own. It says his name, Terry... Name on it. That's his name, Terry Name. And he looks around and he can't see his mum anymore. And he's so confused. Because he was just out having some fun with his friends and his mum. His mum's gone now. He doesn't know where she is. He hears a scream. Everyone is screaming and disappearing. And then Terry just sits down on the ground in the leafy, conkery draggage on the floor and just starts crying and crying and crying. Where's my mum? Where are my friends? Where did everyone go? And then, one by one, his friends appear once again out of the trees. And they float towards him and say, Terry, it's okay, we're only playing a joke on you. Terry says, guys, I only died a few months ago. Why are you being so mean to me and pranking me like this? And then Terry's mum comes out of the bush and floats towards him with a big red raspberry cake and says, here, dear, here's your cake for being such a good boy. And he took a big bite of it, and as best as he could, because, you know, apparitions and that, and solid objects. And he said, Mum, this isn't raspberry. This is an this isn't any old raspberry cake. This is, he turns to the camera and says, this is an M&S raspberry cake. The end. And you know how I know that that's a real story? Is I made the cake. It was very strange. It was when I used to work in a bakery. A bunch of ghosts just came in, like a mum ghost and a few kid ghosts. They came up into the bakery and they were like, hey, we want to bake a nice big red moon cake for our son/friend. I was like, okay, sure, whatever. This isn't the weirdest thing that's happened. And yeah, I'm the one that made the cake. So, yeah. Happy birthday to Michael, and Terry, I'm sorry you died, but you know, happens to the best of us. Michael sounds a bit ratty to me. Michael actually got killed by rats. Michael appeared once again riding on a giant ghost rat to celebrate with everyone, and it was really nice. They had a big conker party, conker pie, raspberry pie. There were big chunks of conkers in the pie, in the cake that they gave Terry. It was really nice. It was really lovely. Because guys, today is all about a celebration. I got affiliate. It's Michael's birthday. Terry's having a big death celebration. Today's all about celebrating, you know? So, what a good story to end on than a celebratory, spooky story. It probably didn't make much sense. But hey, that's life, and life doesn't tend to make much sense when you think about it. Well, that was my spooky story, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Don't really know where I was going with that.